guys, it's Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Husqvarna Automower. So this is the mower right here. As you can see, it's pretty small. It's something I can lift up. It's fairly lighted. Okay, so this is the underside of our Automower. Whenever you have it up, you should have it in the off position. You have an off switch right here. It's got your blades here, and your wheels. It's able to do a lot of really tight turns. It works really well compared to, say, a tractor or a lawnmower where you're really having to loop around. So we're gonna flip this back over. This right here is our charging area. It goes into the docking station, and these magnetic pieces are the parts that go into it to help it charge. Okay, so as you can see, we have, it's off right now. So because I turned it off, the screen is off, but when it is on, you can you enter your PIN code. When you first turn it on, it'll ask you to enter it before you can make any changes, so you won't have kids messing around with it, assuming your kids don't know the code, and no one can just grab it and steal it. So you want to keep that code separate. It'll ask you for the code, and then you can go to the menu and you can adjust different features or different things on it. So you can adjust things like the cutting height and a bunch of other things I'll talk about in a minute. All right, so here's the app. Right now it's having issues because it realizes I put it upside down. It doesn't like that. So I will have to go into the dashboard in on my mower to fix that. So you can see it'll say more details and it'll bring you to that information. Let's see. So, and I can change all my settings in here. So it allows me to change the trimming height, or the cutting height, the timer, and just to look at a couple different other things that you might need. And you can see the map. Let's see. You can see the map of where your mower has gone. It goes in a random order, which helps keep you from having lines showing on your lawn. Okay, so one of your main questions is going to be, is this going to get stolen? Because it is expensive. It's an investment you're investing in, not having to mow your lawn. That is a big question. So obviously tractors, mowers, they all run the risk of being stolen. You do have to worry about that. That's one of the reasons we keep our tractor locked up at night. And yeah, so this is out on a charging base. It has to be out there all the time because it might be cutting in the middle of the night. You might set it to only run at night, which is a great idea, by the way, because it's very quiet. And then it'll be out of the way and on its charger when you're trying to play out here or work in your garden or throw a ball to the dog or play with the kids, whatever you're doing, you can have it out of the way during that time. So anyways, stolen. Yes, you want to know what happens if it gets stolen. First of all, for it to work, you have wire buried all around the exterior of the area that you want it to run. So it's gonna have issues if you walk outside that area with this. So you need the wire. It won't run without the wire. So if someone stole it, in order to use it, they would have to also have a wire put in. Second, this has GPS on it. So if you stole it, it would be like stealing a phone that had GPS enabled. You could just track it right to its location. The other thing is it does have an alarm that goes off if you take it out of the zone. Okay, so one of the other main questions you're gonna wanna know is what happens if I have kids' toys out in the yard? What does the mower do? What the mower does is it bumps against them and then it turns around. So anything large, like I think the lawnmower or the toy lawnmower, the ride-on car, we've got a what do you call it? Seesaw, I guess. Seesaw, yeah, seesaw over there. It'll bump into them and then it'll go off in another direction. Now, of course, if you leave them there, it will go around them, so it will never mow in that area. So the best plan for that is to make sure you move them, which you really want to do anyways, because if you leave a toy in one position all the time, you'll find that it wears away at your grass and your grass will have dead spots. Now, you might also be asking, does it get stuck? If you have a robot vacuum, you have probably had this experience. Our robot vacuum hates my house. I can't get it to run upstairs. There's just no way. I would love to have like 3 robot vacuums and just not ever have to vacuum myself, but I can't get the one vacuum to work. The robot vacuum is not super helpful. Most of the time it's out of battery stuck on my cord somewhere. This does not get stuck too often. Now, the nice thing about this is that if you have a problem area in your yard that it's getting stuck on, you can put some wire around it, or you can change the change your landscaping a little to fix it. So I want to give you an example of one of our problem areas. It's pretty much the only area it really gets stuck on consistently. So we have this weird hill. I'm gonna have to tilt this down. We have this weird hill. I don't know what the deal is. It's a bunch of rock. It's been here for a while. Our option here, we can put some of the wire, we can bury the wire around it to tell the mower not to go over it. The other option is to just get rid of it so we can clear this out, which is our plan. We're gonna do that. The other option is we could add some soil over it and try to make it more even. This thing can get up and down hills, no problem. The main issue is that there's rock it can get stuck on. Now, the best thing about this mower is that it's very good in a kid-friendly yard. It saved us a lot of time mowing. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna show you our yard real quick. We actually have 8.5 acres. We do not have enough money to buy enough mowers to mow 8.5 acres. But this mower is taking care of our backyard area, which is a huge problem for us because it takes my husband quite a while to clear this. He can zip around on his big tractor for the other 8.5 acres. This yard is hard because he can't just work around these. He can't just go bump into these different toys every 2 weeks when he mows. And he can't get, like, he has to come out here and he has to attack this, take down all the swings to get under the swing set. There's a little weird area here that the swing set comes out at like a little angle. The auto mower can go right under those. So that saves us a lot of time. Our big mower will take out small toys. It'll actually break them, which has been a good way to tell our kids to pick up after themselves. So if you don't pick up, the mower's gonna kill it. And I still tell them that with this because I don't want them leaving small toys out because it's annoying. But this is surprisingly not eating any toys. And we have things like little Nerf bullets and stuff that run. And I don't know the situation in terms of what it'll hurt or not hurt. But I think this is a lot gentler than a ride-on mower or a tractor like we have. And even with a push mower, I feel like you can do a lot more damage. Just to give you an example, we do have wildlife, and you can take out wildlife with our big mower. I just don't see this doing that. I mean, I can't make any promises. If there's a turtle in the yard, I assume this mower will bump against the turtle and go in the other direction. Our bush hog will not go in the other direction. It'll go into the turtle. So yes, this is a lot safer. So one of the things you can do with this is that you can set the cutting height on your phone or on your dashboard on here. So this allows you to decide how long you want your grass to be. And it works out really nice because this is mowing a few times a week and it keeps your grass from, that's what we're looking for. It keeps it all at an even height. And because it's mowing multiple times a week, the benefit is that you're gonna have the grass clippings being returned to the grass, but you're cutting often enough that you never actually see the grass clippings because they're so small. So you're returning all the nutrients and the moisture that was in that grass back to your soil, just like you really should be with a traditional mower. But you don't have to see it, and you don't have, like, you'll notice that we need to probably wipe this down because we have mower clippings underneath here. The reason there's mower clippings underneath is that we mowed a day before they came out to install this, so there's clippings from it running after the install. So it was picking up all those clippings from our tractor or our mower. So once this starts going and you've got it going all the time, it's not going to be a problem. You're going to have you're just not going to see the clippings. So the only thing I've been Like we don't have this set to the highest setting for the shortest setting, and it's actually pretty short, and I don't know what it would look like if we cut it shorter than this. I think we'll probably raise the height at some point, just because I feel like we need a little extra grass to fill in any areas the dogs have peed in. So just my 2 cents. Yeah, our grass right now looks really, really awful because we haven't gotten a lot of rain in Maryland recently. Usually this is a really rainy time of the year for us, but we haven't been getting any rain. So anyways, so if you see brown spots, it's partially because we have a dog peeing out here, but it's also because of the lack of rain. It does not collect grass. And if you run this every 2 weeks, you will have grass clippings out on your lawn. We run this 3 times, or ideally you want to run it 3 to 5 times a week, so you don't have to see your grass clippings. And it works fine if you do that. But if you're in the review section on Amazon, talking to you, whoever was doing that, because I read the reviews on this mower before we got it, and I was like, who's complaining about grass clippings? I mean, we have grass clippings anyways. And I know, at least from my personal standpoint, I don't want to be out here emptying a thing that it's holding grass clippings with. I mean, that's obnoxious. I don't like doing it with my automatic robot, what do they call them? Oh my gosh. Vacuum. I don't like doing it with my vacuum. I don't want to do it with the mower. The mower would collect clippings like crazy, and clippings are good for your lawn. It's more eco-friendly to leave them out there, so I think it's great that I get the benefits of having the clippings returned to the ground without actually getting grass clippings everywhere. So we can walk out here now. Hi, buddy. We can walk out here now without getting grass clippings everywhere. Like, I don't know if you've been out in the grass after it rains and after you've mowed, and you come inside and there's grass clippings all over your shoes and all over the dog's paws. I'm really happy that we don't have to deal with that anymore, at least for this backyard. This device, so the user manual says not to leave it on when your kids or your dogs are out playing. I let my dog out all the time with it. I've never noticed an issue. The dog's not nervous about it. I feel like it's fairly safe. However, if you are nervous, and you know, it's always good to be on the safe side, you can always run it at night. It is very quiet. I'm going to show you a clip. I'll turn it back on here in a minute, but it's so quiet, I don't see a problem. It does, however, look really creepy because it's got these really cool headlights, and it looks kind of spooky at night, which I like. I think it's fun. You do not need a fence for this. We have a fence around the area that it's in. If we wanted to use this to mow outside of this fence, it would be kind of a pain. We'd have to leave the gate open all the time. It's not convenient for me. I want my dog to stay inside this part of the yard so he's not running into other people's yards. Ideally, I could have this and I could also run it invisible fencing for my dog and not have a physical fence at all. And then I would be able to take care of more of my yard with this. Not all of it, but each mower has its own capacity. So you want to take that into consideration when you purchase yours, and think about your space, because I saw a post from the people that installed ours, and they were saying they talked to somebody and they were going to buy, I think, this model, which is one of the more expensive models, and they talked to them and they looked at their yard and they said, you know what, I think you're going to do better off with three of the lower end models, because then you can have one in each zone. And sure enough, it worked out better. It was about the same price as buying one of this model or whatever model they needed to buy the 3. And that made sense for them. It worked for their yard. They just had to have all 3 installed, and they have to have 3 charging stations. Okay, the last question is, how do you store these? These are stored on their charging station, and they don't need to be out of the rain for the winter. When you start having to, you don't need to mow anymore, what you do is you want to wipe it clean. You can take a damp wet cloth and wipe it down. You can do any maintenance you want. You can replace blades, anything you need to do. And you have to put it in full charge mode. And I'm not talking about like normal full charge. I'm talking about like full hey, we're about to winterize this charge. There is a mode for that on your app, I believe. And at that point, you get it all charged fully, and then you can put it aside in your storage. The other thing you're probably wondering is, does it charge itself? When it runs out of a charge, it goes right back to its charging station, charges up, and it charges pretty fast. I can't tell you exactly how long, but I remember looking at it being like, oh, that was quick. So it kind of knows how long it's going to take to get back. We haven't had it run out of charge in the middle of the yard. Now, if it gets stuck on something, it could run out of charge in the middle of the yard. But we haven't had that happen because we go out. It gives me a warning. It says on my phone, oh, look, it's stuck on something, and I'll go run out and get it. Your yard does look really nice with this. It's going to keep it low enough that I don't have to worry about ticks in this part of the yard, which is great because we do have ticks on our property, and I feel like this is going to give me a safe zone that I don't need to stick a ridiculous amount of bug repellent on my children. I feel like with the short height of this grass, it's perfect to prevent ticks from coming into this portion of the yard. It keeps my dog safe, it keeps my kids safe, it keeps me safe. I've had Lyme before, it's not fun. And because my dog, this is his part of the yard, if I don't let him out anywhere else, I can be fairly reassured that he's not going to pick up a tick out in this yard and bring it into the house. Now, if I let him out in the woods, I need to check him just like I have to check my kids. But I love that. That's fantastic. Last thing is install. Let's talk about installation. I cannot attest to what it's like to DIY the installation on this. It was easy for the people from the company that came out and did it to do it. They had a special machine that dug and buried the wire at the same time. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I thought they were digging the wire and then coming back around, or digging the hole and then coming back around with the wire. Nope, it did it all for them. It is an amazing machine. I don't know if I'd want to DIY this because I would have taken a long time to bury a wire 2 to 3 inches deep all around my yard. I just don't see it being awesome. Could be wrong, but I would recommend that if you're considering doing a self-install, go ahead and dig a 2 to 3 inch trench for just a fourth of the way around and see how you feel about it. If you say, it's not a big deal, I'll do the rest, go for it. Absolutely. If you're like, I hate this, I never want to do this again, call and get it installed. There's professional installers, they're fast. I don't know how much they cost. Again, this was installed for me by Husqvarna. If we ever get this fencing fixed and we have to install more, I'll probably have them come back and bury the wire. It just was such a huge difference. It took him 15 minutes. It was awesome. He spent another 15 minutes talking to me. And I think if you get the service through them, they will come out and fix any problems later on. Don't quote me on this, but I got the sense that it's not, they don't just like install it and leave. If you need help from them, they do have some customer service available. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about this. I am not the reviewer that's going to be like, oh, it's XYZ horsepower. I don't care. Just want to know if it gets the job done. I'll have more information up on my blog, DIYDanielle.com, about this mower. And of course, I've been talking about this mower on my Facebook channel. All right. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye.